Hello everyone, and today we've received the aluminum wireless mechanical keyboard with RGB backlighting from YUNZII, the AL65. It comes in this packaging, featuring a picture of the keyboard itself on the front, and a notable detail, the cutouts on the outer case that mirror the cutouts on the keyboard's body. This hollow design, as YUNZII calls it, is one of the AL65's distinctive aesthetic features. Well, let's move on to unpacking and see what's inside. In the kit you will find user manual, instructions for using keyboard shortcuts, plastic dust cover, a removable USB-A to USB-C cable, a set of alternative keycaps, including a set of keys for Mac, 2 spare switches, the same as in the keyboard, keycap and switch puller, wireless radio module RF 2.4 GHz, and of course the YUNZII AL65 mechanical keyboard itself. The YUNZII AL65 is a new addition to the brand's aluminum keyboard lineup, the AL series, and could be considered a flagship model, at least in relative terms. Technically, YUNZII doesn't segment its keyboards into tiers like flagship or entry-level, but if you look at the pricing across the AL series, the AL65 currently sits at the top. As of now, it's the most expensive keyboard in this particular lineup. The YUNZII AL65 is one of those keyboards that immediately grabs your attention the moment you see it. Its bold and unique design screams premium quality without being over-the-top flashy. The hollow side-cut design is the star of the show here. It's not just a random aesthetic choice, it actually enhances the keyboard's overall vibe by letting the RGB lighting shine through in a way that feels intentional and artistic. This isn't just some boring slab of metal, it's a statement piece. Think of it as the Marvel Venom-inspired cousin of mechanical keyboards, edgy but still refined. The CNC aluminum case is where things get even more impressive. You can tell right away that this isn't your run-of-the-mill plastic build. The aluminum feels dense and sturdy, giving the keyboard a weighty presence on the desk that says, "I'm here to stay." The YUNZII AL65 is an ultra-compact 65% keyboard. Its dimensions are fairly standard for this format: 319.4 by 110 by 39.9 millimeters. At 1.05 kilograms, it's not exactly light, but that heft adds to the feeling of durability and luxury. The black bottom case contrasts beautifully with the aluminum frame, creating a sleek and modern look that would fit perfectly into any high-end desk setup. It's the kind of keyboard that makes you want to clear off your desk just to give it the spotlight it deserves. No adjustable feet though, that might be a deal breaker for some, but I found the default angle to be very comfortable. One of the rare cases where I didn't wish for height customization. Just 6 screws holding everything together. Those screws are hex style, which might be slightly annoying if you don't have the right tool handy, but once you open it up, you'll see why they went with this design. Inside, the sandwich-style construction is neatly organized, with layers of foam strategically placed to dampen sound and improve typing feel. Speaking of performance, the RGB lighting deserves its own shout-out. The 360-degree surround effect isn't just a gimmick, it genuinely elevates the entire experience. From the front to the sides, the glow is consistent and bright, turning the keyboard into a glowing centerpiece. And because the top housing is made of polycarbonate, the light diffuses evenly, avoiding harsh spots or uneven brightness. Even the USB-C port and connection switch are seamlessly integrated into the design, maintaining the keyboard's clean lines and polished appearance. The devil is always in the details, and the AL65 nails them. The edges are smooth, with no sharp corners or rough finishes to ruin the premium feel. Every corner, every screw, every bit of the frame feels meticulously crafted. Even the logo placement, a subtle yet stylish touch on the top left, is done in a way that doesn't scream for attention, but still catches your eye. At the end of the day, the AL65's design and build quality hit all the right notes. It's sturdy without being clunky, stylish without being gaudy, and packed with features that make it stand out in a sea of generic options. For $129.99, it punches above its weight class in terms of aesthetics and craftsmanship. This is a keyboard that doesn't just sit on your desk, it owns it. The YUNZII AL65 doesn't just stop at its stunning design and build quality, it also brings a lot to the table regarding keycaps and switches. You interact with these parts of the keyboard the most, so they better be good. And thankfully the AL65 delivers in spades. Starting with the keycaps, you have a mix of materials and styles catering to aesthetics and functionality. Most keycaps are made from double-shot PBT, which is a fancy way of saying they're durable and won't wear down easily. PBT is known for resisting the shiny, greasy look that some cheaper keycaps develop over time, so these should stay looking fresh even after months or years of heavy use. On top of that, the legends on the keycaps are crisp and clean, thanks to the double-shot molding process. This means the lettering isn't going anywhere, no matter how much you type or game. But here's where things get interesting. The right side of the keyboard features transparent PC keycaps. These aren't just for show. They're designed to let the RGB lighting shine through in a way that's hard to ignore. If you're into vibrant, glowing setups, this feature alone might sell you on the keyboard. And if you're not a fan of the transparent look, no worries. The package includes extra keycap sets, including a gray set with MOS legends that blend seamlessly with Apple devices, or any sleek minimalist setup. Swapping them out is easy, thanks to the included keycap puller, so you can customize the look to match your vibe. Now onto the switches. The YUNZII AL65 gives you two solid options: YUNZII Milk, Vive 2 switches, or Gateron 0 switches. Both are linear switches, meaning there's no tactile bump or click when you press down. Just smooth, consistent action all the way through. The Milk V2 switches are buttery smooth, almost creamy under your fingers, making them perfect for fast typists or gamers who need precision without noise. They feel soft and light, with just enough resistance to keep things comfortable during long typing sessions. For those who love tinkering, the AL65 supports hot-swappable switches. This means you can swap out the stock switches for something else without needing to solder anything. Want to try out tactile switches instead of linears? Go for it. Prefer a heavier switch with more feedback? That's an option too. The flexibility to experiment with different switches makes this keyboard a great choice for beginners dipping their toes into the world of custom keyboards, as well as seasoned enthusiasts who know exactly what they want. One thing worth noting is the south-facing RGB LEDs. This placement works perfectly with the transparent keycaps, allowing for side-printed legends if that's your style. It also ensures that the lighting is evenly distributed, avoiding harsh spots or uneven brightness. Even the stabilizers benefit from the RGB glow, adding an extra layer of visual flair to the overall design. The YUNZII AL65 has software features that make it a joy to customize and use. One of the standout aspects is its compatibility with QMK and VIA, two open-source tools that let you tweak almost every keyboard aspect without downloading sketchy third-party apps. This alone is a big deal for people who love personalizing their gear, but don't want to deal with complicated setups or shady downloads. QMK and VIA are like magic wands for your keyboard. With these tools, you can remap keys, create macros, and adjust RGB lighting to your heart's content. The VIA app in particular is super user-friendly. You just plug in the keyboard, load up the web app, and start customizing. It's all done through a clean interface where you can drag and drop commands onto specific keys. Want to turn your caps lock into a dedicated media control? Done. Need a single key press to type out an entire email signature? Easy. The possibilities are endless, and the best part is that it's all saved directly to the keyboard, so your settings stick even if you switch devices. One thing worth mentioning is that setting up VIA isn't entirely plug and play, at least not yet. During the initial release, I had trouble finding the correct JSON file needed to get full functionality. This file essentially tells VIA how your keyboard is laid out and what features it supports. Thankfully, the process isn't too complicated once you figure it out. Just head to the official YUNZII website, grab the file, unzip it, and upload it to VIA. After that, everything works smoothly. Hopefully, this step will become more streamlined as the firmware updates. RGB customization is another area where the AL65 shines. You don't need any fancy software to tweak the lighting. It's all controlled via function keys right on the board. Want to change the brightness or cycle through effects? Just hit the right combo and you're good to go. But if you prefer more granular control, VIA has you covered there too. You can fine-tune the RGB animations, layer them across different zones, and even sync them with other compatible devices. The hollow side cut design makes the RGB effects pop in a futuristic and artistic way. It's the kind of glow-up that turns heads, whether you're at your desk or showing off your setup to friends. Another cool feature is the Mod Tap functionality. For those unfamiliar, Mod Tap lets you assign two actions to a single key. For example, when held down, you can set a key to act as a shift key, but send a different command when tapped quickly. This is especially useful for maximizing efficiency on a compact 65% layout with limited space. Setting this up requires diving into the QMK settings, but it's surprisingly intuitive once you get the hang of it. That said, there is one hiccup. Mod Tap doesn't always work perfectly in wireless mode, particularly when switching between input methods like English or other language layouts. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to keep in mind if you plan to use the keyboard wirelessly for multilingual typing. The YUNZII AL65 doesn't mess around regarding battery life. It's packing a whopping 8,000 mAh capacity. To put it into perspective, most keyboards in this category hover around 4,000 mAh or less, so having double that is a big deal. This means you can go weeks, if not months, without needing to recharge, depending on how you use it. What makes the battery setup even cooler is that it's split into two 4000 mAh cells tucked neatly inside the aluminum case. Now the real kicker is how the battery performs across different modes. If you're using the keyboard in Bluetooth mode, it sips power like a pro. Bluetooth is generally more energy efficient than 2.4 GHz wireless, so you'll get the longest life out of this connection type. Switching over to the 2.4 GHz dongle will drain the battery faster, but even then, the 8000 mAh capacity ensures you won't be tethered to a charger anytime soon. And if you prefer wired mode, the USB-C port keeps things simple by charging quickly, while also letting you use the keyboard during the process. One thing worth noting is how the RGB lighting impacts battery life. Sure, those vibrant 360-degree RGB effects look amazing, but they do take a toll on the battery. Cranking the brightness up and running all the animations will naturally shorten your usage time between charges. That said, you can always dial it back or switch to a static color if you want to stretch out the battery life. It's all about finding that sweet spot between aesthetics and practicality. Charging the keyboard is straightforward thanks to the USB-C port, which feels modern and reliable. There's no proprietary nonsense here. You can use pretty much any USB-C cable lying around. And since the battery is so large, it does take a bit of time to fully charge, but that's a small trade-off for the convenience it offers. And now the most interesting part, typing. To sum it up, I'll say that I liked the YUNZII AL65. It's arguably one of the brand's best models to date. It boasts a unique design, high-quality materials, excellent build quality, excellent typing, a compact size, flexible customization via VA, and a reasonable price. These are the key advantages of this model. Battery life is generally decent, but I wish the keyboard lasted longer with the backlight on. The only downside I could point out is the slight delay in waking up from sleep mode. And even that only really becomes apparent when the keyboard has been in sleep mode for extended periods. And then there's the 65% format itself. Those who really need quick access to the F1 to F12 keys should consider 75% format keyboards. For everyone else, I highly recommend it. It's a great device, well worth the money. And that's all from me. You can buy it using the link in the description. Thank you all for watching. Good luck to everyone. Bye everyone. Ciao.